Hello, Internet. Welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us.
In the way too early predictions, how does Utah fare, and how do we think they'll do in the Big 12?
In the NBA, the Utah Jazz have lost 3 in a row after following up from their 6-game win streak. What's gone wrong, and what can they do to fix it?
And we finally have a free agency signing. Let's break it down and talk about what's holding up free agency in Major League Baseball.
All that and more. My name is Darren. That is AJ, and this is the DNA Sports Recap.
Roll the intro.
How's it going, AJ?
Doing good, buddy. I'm doing really good. How are you?
Oh, doing well, man. Doing well.
Okay, let me get readjusted in my chair here. All of a sudden, I just realized I was slouching. I'm not comfortable. Okay.
It's a long podcast, guys. We got to get comfy in this.
Yeah, we do. We do. And these chairs are way better than the other ones.
Yes. Actually, haven't gotten any feedback yet from the comments. Comments down below. Let us know what you think about switching it back up to the table set versus the bar height set that we had with the podcast table.
I feel like no one cares.
I don't think anybody cares. So if
you don't care, then we're going to sit here.
If you don't care, let us know in the comments down below too. So we know, it's called engagement. That's what we're needing.
We need you to engage.
Anyway, before we get started, pre-show cheers.
Oh, yeah.
Cheers to you.
And cheers to you, my friends.
So good, man. Absolutely love it.
Love it.
All right, so let's go ahead and talk a little bit about college football, shall we?
Let's do it.
All right, so before we jump into the Utes and we want to talk there's some breaking news that broke in the last couple of hours here. The breaking news in the NFL, former Michigan State head coach and current national champion. Sorry, Michigan, not Michigan State. Sorry, I have a brother-in-law who's going to Michigan State, so keep
fair enough. But
yeah, former Michigan. I just got a bunch of Wolverine fans. I'm just like, anyway. So former Michigan head coach and current national champion Jim Harbaugh is leaving Michigan to go coach the NFL with the LA Chargers. What's your take on that? Real quick, go ahead.
I mean, I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure every Michigan fan in the whole world's probably like, how could you say that? Because he's not only taking he's taking his offensive coordinator, he's taking his nutrition staff, he's taking like 8 assistants or something.
Yeah,
he's taking his whole coaching staff. So there's going to be some work to be done at the University of Michigan for sure. But I don't know. It was pretty cool. I mean, it was the last team he played for in the NFL. He's going to have a chance to go there and, show that he can keep being a winning head coach. And
yeah, I think it goes back to what we were talking about before last week when we talked about Saban retiring and the short we put out in regards to, how what that's going to do to college football going forward.
Yeah.
I think this is just another example of that. Get out on a high note. You may be able to make NFL money at Michigan, but you still are going to have to recruit your players every single week. The guys who didn't get any snaps are going to have to be coddled so they don't jump in the portal. So I just think he sees the writing on the wall as well and realizes there's no better time to jump to the NFL than now.
I agree. And he's also got I know he's got some sanctions on him that carry into the next year as well. And
true.
He's just like, I'm done with it. It's all good. Yeah. I'll go make that NFL money, coach big boys.
That's right. No more recruiting. Yeah, coach the big boys and go with it. So good job. Congrats to Jim Harbaugh. Congrats to the Chargers. Look forward to seeing how that all shakes out and what you guys do next year. Before we jump in the NFL, local guy, let's give some kudos to our local guy, Jordan Love.
Yeah.
Jordan Love, man.
What a season.
You were thinking, he started off pretty slow, but
shaky, not slow.
Yeah,
but shaky.
It's probably the best way to put it. Well said.
Yeah.
But he basically took that team, the Packers team, coming off of a first ballot Hall of Famer, and carried them to a playoff win, man. That's pretty impressive.
It really was too.
Yeah.
I think the sky's the limit for this kid, man.
Yeah.
He's got a huge arm. He's got a ton of talent. And the Packers are playing guys you've never heard of.
Right.
They're catching balls down the field. Like, if they can do a little bit and get a little bit of talent in there.
Yeah.
Just known talent, known commodities. I think Jordan Love could really take off and really do some damage with this Packers team next year.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I was talking to a Packers fan on the way back from a road trip that I just had, and he said, "Yeah, rebuilding year with a bunch of nobodies and backup to a first ballot Hall of Famer." He's like, "This is a rebuilding year. You telling me we made it to the playoffs and we won a playoff game? with this. He's like, I couldn't be happier.
Yeah.
And that's just fantastic. So good on you, Jordan. Good on, congrats to all the Utah State fans, the Aggies up there. They get to see one of their alma maters.
One of their own.
Yeah, one of their own really excelling in the NFL. So really good to see. All right, now let's bring it back to Utah. Let's bring it back to college football. Let's talk a little bit about the Utes.
Okay.
All right. So now, for those of you who haven't heard, so this came out on the Joel Klatt Show. Joel Klatt. I don't know why I'm tripping over that. So New York NFL Network Fox Sports broadcaster Joel Klatt said on the Joel Klatt Show this week that not only does he pick the Utes to rank 8th to start the 2024 season, but he also has them as the odds-on favorite to win the Big 12 conference. And this is a quote directly from that. Cam Rising is going to be in his 7th season in college football. Won the Pac-12 each of his last 2 healthy seasons. You think this is not going to be a good team? This is going to be an excellent team. Give me your thoughts on that. What do you think about those statements, and what do you think about where he thinks that the Utes are going to, first of all, start off this year as far as ranking 8th, and also what you think as far as them having the potential to win the Big 12?
Yeah, I mean, if you go ahead and listen to the actual podcast, did you actually listen to it, or did you just kind of check it? Yeah. I mean, he goes on to say that this youth team could be ranked much higher than 8th. I mean, he debated putting them higher than that in his obviously way too early preseason rankings. This youth team is going to be really good. I mean, they're going to be really good. And obviously all of this is assuming everyone's healthy and playing, right? That was obviously the huge outlier last year.
Yeah, but you have to. That's all you can base your prediction off of, right?
Yep, so. Absolutely. So, I mean, my opinion is Utah is undoubtedly a top 15 team to start this year in AP rankings, no matter what. I don't know how you wouldn't rank them I mean, if anybody ranked them lower than that, it would be an absolute insult. Like this team with this quarterback specifically, won 2 Pac-12 championships back to back. Hadn't been done before.
Right.
Like, I mean, this team was absolutely rolling. They get back Brant Keithy, who, I mean, he was the key part of a lot of those of both of those back-to-back wins. I mean, they're returning Mekhi Bernard, who, he came back for, that one game for the Las Vegas Bowl. And they're still going to have back Junior Tafuna, who's, I mean, a preseason all conference, defensive end or defensive tackle. And they're going to have Zamiah Vaughn's coming back in the secondary. So this team is coming back. They kind of kept together their core, which was really, really important for them to continue to be successful. And I think kind of the hidden factor of this is, I don't know if Big 12 teams know what it's like to play Utah. I mean, Baylor's the only one that's played them, and they're going to play them. And obviously they're a Big 12 team, but they played them in, theirs is a non-conference game this year, but there's a big physical football team that dominates the line of scrimmage, that continues to go hard every single play. The defense is stout. And with Cam Rising at the quarterback position, their offense can score it as fast as you can put it on. So, I mean, remember with Cam Rising, this is a team that didn't defer to the second half for the first time in like the Kyle Whittingham era ever.
Right.
I mean, with Cam as quarterback, they were taking the ball because they wanted to go down and put it on him, and then continue to apply the pressure. Right. They wanted to say, we're going to score first, and our defense is better than your offense. You're not going to beat us in a foot race because we can score points just like you can.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, and they've still got some stud young players. I mean, they've got Logan Fano, who hopefully he's back. He got injured in that Oregon State game last year. He played in 5 games. On offense, I mean, you've still got Jalen Glover coming back. I think he's probably going to be splitting carries with Mekhi Bernard. And as far as running backs, I mean, you've got untapped guys. Mike Mitchell's a 4-star recruit that's on the bench. He didn't play a snap last year. And then they just added Anthony Woods from Idaho. So they've got a ton of talent at obviously running back. Defense is always tough. They're always well coached. Morgan Scalley's done a fantastic job. They're going to have Logan Fano back. Hopefully Van Fillinger is going to be back. And I mean, then they just added from the transfer portal, Kanias Vaughn. I mean, he had a great season at UTEP, so he's going to be fantastic too. I think he's got a chance to really steal some reps. In the secondary, we did a video on this. Check it out for last week. But some of the transfer portal additions, but they brought in Cameron Calhoun from Michigan and Keenan Johnson. So they've got some guys. This team's going to be really good, Darren. I mean, this is going to be a great year to be a Utes fan, and I literally cannot wait for them to get it started.
Yeah, one of my favorite quotes from that podcast was, they don't have to go through the gauntlet that was the Pac-12 a year ago.
Yeah.
They're now moving into the Big 12, and they should be the preseason favorite. That's just a mic drop quote right there, I think, from Joel there. It's 100% accurate there. He's like, they're getting Cam Rising back, Keefe's coming back. The defense is always good. These are just some of the quotes he's made in that. He's like, you think this isn't going to be a good team? This is going to be an excellent team. And I have to agree with you, man. I mean, Kansas State's, Oklahoma State, these are all going to be great teams, but they're not Oregon, they're not Washington, they're not
USC's offense.
They're not
right?
USC, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, these are all, I mean, even Arizona, and albeit obviously Utah didn't beat Oregon last year, they didn't beat Washington last year, they didn't beat Arizona last year, but they also didn't have a quarterback.
Right. They're playing on
they have the guy now.
Quarterback.
Yeah. I mean, they were playing with a walk-on.
Right.
So this is going to be a much different team, and anybody that hasn't, that if last year was your first year tuning into Utah football, go back and watch 2022. Watch Cam Rising throw balls down the field, and every time you see him rear back and throw the ball on the field, you're excited because you're like, that guy's got a chance.
Yeah, they got some double-digit wins and some of the best talent the Pac-12 had over the last 2 years during that time. So
yep,
it was no just squeaking by our teeth there.
Yep.
I mean, some detractors will say the second Pac-12 championship basically just kind of fell in their lap, but they did have to do everything to get there.
Still had to win.
They still had to win. And still
had to win. Yeah.
Yeah. Just because everything happened to happen off the field for them to win, to get in the position, they still had to win the game, and they did. So yep. I'm looking forward to it.
Yep. Absolutely.
I'll take conference championships over a bowl game win any day.
Yeah.
But not this one. Not this year.
Well, no, this year the Utes have their sights set on a college football playoff berth.
Exactly.
Right. Big 12 champions, which gives you an automatic berth and a first round bye in that college football playoff.
Which will help the Utes because, they're not going to be injury free. So
well, and then you've got to play somebody, like that next round of playoff games, someone's got to come to Salt Lake City and play.
Yeah. So it's gonna be awesome. Yeah. I'm looking forward to that. That's gonna be a lot of fun. And I don't know. It's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be a long off season. Unfortunately.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, that's okay. We'll be celebrating the Fall Classic when Utes football starts, and so we'll be good there. And actually, no, they start playing in September, right? Late August.
End of August is when their first
late
games
August
are.
when their first games are. Yep. So division play starts in late September, right?
Yeah. Conference play.
Division conference. Jeez, Darren.
Same thing.
Pay attention, Darren, to your words. But yeah, so as far as that goes, I'm super excited about the Utes going forward. Obviously other fans of BYU and Utah State, if there's anything that you guys want to be excited about, let us know. We definitely would love to cover it. We just need those teams to do something, then we'd love to cover it. So that'd be great. Yeah, I mean, Utah State, they got a quarterback battle coming up. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. I mean, maybe I'll cover Bryson Barnes all you want. I love the guy. Let's cover Bryce. Yeah, we definitely got to tune into some of that. Yeah, we got to talk about our boy Bryson for sure. I think I'm gonna make it up to the Utah State game where because the Utes go up to Utah State. That's true, they do this year, huh? Yeah, we should get tickets. We should go. Excellent, perfect. Yeah, take the. Never mind. Take all of them. Take the wives up there. Yep. Mm-hmm. There's an awesome little hotel up there that'd be fun. Yep. Sorry, we'll take that off air. But anyway, but yeah, so super excited about it. This is actually the basketball's playing right now, and this is actually gonna be the last that we're gonna see these our Utes in Pac-12 play during the basketball. So yeah, it's pretty sad, pretty crazy. Yeah, I haven't watched a whole lot of NCAA though. Yeah, they're doing okay. They're not doing great. BYU was on a tear, and they were actually ranked 12th in the nation for a while there. And they lost. Yeah, and then they lost, and they lost again. So, but yeah. Anyway, we'd love to hear from you guys. If you guys want to let us know in the comments down below, let us know what you think. Remember, folks, this is a podcast. It does go out as an audio-only podcast. You can find it wherever you find your podcast. It's also available on our website at DNAsportsrecap.com. It's also available as a video podcast for its full episode entirely on our playlist underneath podcasts.
Yep. And if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you like it. Make sure you smash that like button for us. Make sure you share it. Make sure you subscribe. We appreciate all the engagement. Keep commenting. We love it.
Absolutely. And this starting in February, we are going to be live streaming this. So if you guys want to make sure that you're tuned into that, make sure you hit the notification bell so you don't miss it. When we drop this live stream, you guys can interact with us in the chat.
Going to be awesome.
We're going to take your questions. We're going to take your statements, and we're going to,
or maybe we'll just sit here because nobody watches.
Yeah. Well, probably true. Say hi to our parents,
Yeah, absolutely.
They're probably watching.
Hi, Mom.
Exactly. All right. Well, let's go ahead and pivot on over to the Utah Jazz, shall we? All right, so let's go ahead and pivot back to the NBA, shall we?
Absolutely.
All right, we're going to talk a little bit about our Utah Jazz now. Last week on the podcast, we did discuss the Utah Jazz. We also put out a video on the Utah Jazz and how they were the hottest team in the NBA. Be sure to check that video out. They won 15 out of their last 19 and were on a 6-game winning streak at the time. At the time of recording this one, the Utah Jazz are now on a 3-game losing streak with losses to OKC, Houston, and New Orleans. What would you say is the reasoning behind this recent skid?
The big thing is the Jazz have lost 3 games in a row. And to start this losing streak, that first loss against OKC, that's a really good basketball team. They're talented. They've got Chet Holmgren back. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is in, a potentially MVP season. They're really, really good, right? They can score the ball. They get a ton of free throws. Shai Gilgeous gets every single call all the time, every game. You literally can't touch the dude. It's going to be a foul and he's going to shoot free throws for it. So they're really good. The Jazz played that was a really competitive game. And when that game was over, I was like, you know what? I'm not even upset about that loss. Like that was a good game to watch. The Jazz competed. It was a close game. It went all the way down to the last couple of possessions. I was okay with it. The Houston game. Okay, Houston's not a great basketball team. They're about the same record as the Jazz. They're kind of up and coming, and this game looks really competitive the whole thing, right? And realistically, this comes all the way down to you get a shot at the end to win the ball game, you miss it. And that one's by Colin Sexton. It goes into overtime. In overtime, Jordan Clarkson gets a 8-foot floater to win the game in overtime and misses it. He short arms it. And honestly, that one I wasn't even upset about, right? Like you're going to take that look from Colin Sexton or Jordan Clarkson any game of the week, plain and simple. Like that's okay. And then they come out and just absolutely look horrendous against New Orleans. Right. They shot, in the game against Houston, they shoot 39% from 3 and they look great and they lose in a tough game. All good. You live with it. That's okay. But then to come out against New Orleans and allow the Pelicans to shoot 48.6% from 3, that is absolutely insane. And it was, these guys were shooting the ball well. Okay, fair enough. But we're not even defending threes at this point. We just got wide open shooters just letting it rain. CJ McCollum goes absolutely insane. This Pelicans team is way too talented for that. You got Brandon Ingram, who the dude's a stud. You can love him, you can hate him. The dude can play basketball. Zion Williamson, not my favorite player in the world. I think he's ridiculously overrated. He can't shoot the ball from anywhere unless he's 4 feet from the rim.
Which is really weird about how he started off his career.
Well,
first game, his first 4 shots were 3-point attempts, and he nailed them all 4, which is a real weird way for a player like that to start his career.
Yes, that's correct. But you think the immense pressure Zion Williamson had to start. He was supposed to be the next LeBron. The league was handing him the keys to the NBA, and he screwed it all up.
Yeah, I get so the biggest prospect since LeBron James. It seems like it happens every single year.
Yeah,
they got this new.
Now it's Victor.
Yeah, now it's Victor.
Yeah.
By the way, he's starting to show signs of life. But anyway, we're getting off subject there. But
yeah.
Anyway, so the New Orleans game, man. Back to that. So, what's your take on that loss there?
The Jazz have got to find somebody that can defend one of these athletic freak shows, right? Like that's kind of what they struggle with. Is Zion is in that 4-5 role, where he's down in the post and he's got to play, and Walker Kessler he's a fantastic defender, but he's not fast enough to defend someone like Zion Williamson.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, Zion's an athletic freak. He can jump straight up over top of you and dunk it on your head.
Right.
That's not the job for Walker Kessler. He's a shot blocking big. And we know John Collins is definitely not the guy for that task.
No.
And I don't know how you really fix that. You know what I mean? Like Lowry's not gonna be able to stay in front of him. But I mean, really, who in the league can defend him? I don't know. I mean, that's kind of my thing here. Like there's no one that's big enough or strong enough to actually defend Zion.
Mm-hmm.
And if you only have to defend Zion in a game, it's okay. But when you have Brandon Ingram go off and CJ McCollum go off, it's just going to be overwhelming.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If those guys have games like that where they're all consecutively scoring points at will, no one's going to beat them.
Right. Because
you have to put so much attention to defend Zion. It's just unsurmountable.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you on that. The one thing I don't agree with on it just a little bit is the Houston loss. Excuse me. That game should have never been that close whatsoever. You think that, yes, they are basically kind of on the same up and coming thing, but at that time, at that game, the Utah Jazz were a 500 win ball club.
Yeah,
they were over 500, I believe. With that loss, they dropped down to 500, and with the loss to New Orleans, they dropped down to a half game behind, under 500.
Right.
Sorry, a game under 500. So at the time, the Utah Jazz were. I can accept the OKC loss. I think the OKC is just a better team. Yeah, and on any given night, yeah, sure, the Jazz can win, but yeah, that beat, I accept that. I take that exactly the same way. I saw the fight in the team. I saw them come out guns blazing. I saw them defending. I saw them rebounding, and yeah, that I'm okay with that loss. Houston and New Orleans, there's two things that stood up to me on that one that just are unacceptable for this Utah Jazz team. And one is definitely defense, especially, first of all, around the perimeter. 23 made threes for over, for 50% efficiency from threes, But I actually know the real reason why they lost the New Orleans game. You want to know the real reason?
I do.
THT played 8 minutes.
He did what?
He played 8 minutes. That's why they
lost.
Oh,
no.
They let THT on the floor. Sorry, guys. THT plays, but they lose. It's just how it works.
It's just how it works.
But yeah, no, I mean, and the big thing that I noticed in both the Houston game and the New Orleans games when I caught the replay there is that just the Jazz are not boxing out on rebounds.
For one of the most efficient offensive rebounding teams in the league, they really missed a lot of opportunities on second chance points.
Yeah, I think the New Orleans Pelicans had 8 offensive rebounds in the second half.
Yeah.
But
unfortunately, that's John Collins, man.
Yeah.
Like all of our offensive rebounding stats, like the majority comes from John Collins because he does a really good job offensive rebounding and putting the ball back.
No, I mean defensive rebounding.
Oh, just defensive rebounding.
Yeah, they're not boxing anybody out. They're not getting the ball. That's what I'm saying. They're giving them
second chance attempts.
Yeah, the New Orleans Pelicans got 8 second chance options in the second half of their last loss.
Too many, man.
So yeah, New Orleans, they definitely should not have given. And that's the other thing, man. I'm tired of the Jazz being on the other side of record-breaking games. I'm really getting tired of seeing that.
It seems like way too many times this season already, for sure.
I'm really tired of it.
Yeah.
The Pelicans set a franchise record in points, and yes, it's against Utah. Anytime you're allowing on average teams to score over 125 points, you're not going to win the game typically. And they did win a few of these.
They did
over that 6-game win streak. So which is really impressive. But yeah, to me, that's just what it is. The defense has been terrible. The rebounding has been terrible. You cannot give 125 points on average a game over the last 3 games and expect to win.
Yep.
It's just not going to happen. A lot of people are saying it's, there's a bunch of reasons. They're like, oh, the defense is tired. We're coming into the dog days before the All-Star break. People are getting tired. People are going to, the Pelicans don't look tired.
Yeah, they didn't look tired at all.
Rockets didn't look tired.
Nope.
OKC didn't look tired.
Everyone's out there playing with full energy, ready to go, ready to beat the Jazz into the ground efficiently.
Yeah. Now, so I don't want this to be a doomsday type video because I don't think this is not sound the alarm. Let's blow it up. And
definitely not.
They lose 3 in a row. They currently still are sitting in the 10th spot in a play-in position.
Yep.
They're only 1 game below 500. Not every, we said it's sustainable. We didn't say it was going to be everlasting.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
We're going to hit a bump in the road.
Yeah, you're not going to win every game the rest of the season. You're not going to go on 6-7 game win streaks and only lose 1 and get back to winning again. Like This is the NBA. This is the best players in the world playing in this league every single game. I think the Jazz got a chance.
Yeah, I will say, however, to expect the lack of effort on defense to fix itself, it's not going to happen.
No, it doesn't fix itself.
Yeah, Hardy's got to make some changes.
Yeah.
So the starting lineup of Dunn, Sexton, Fontecchio. Thank you, people in the comments, for correcting AJ on his pronunciation. Fontecchio. Fontecchio. I didn't want to say anything because I thought maybe you knew something I didn't, so I just kind of stay quiet on it. But
Fontecchio.
But
I've got it now.
Yeah, Dunn, Sexton, Fontecchio, Markkanen, and Collins. I think something needs to change there, man. Like, as far as they go, I mean, maybe not the starting lineup, but that lineup served its point, served its purpose. It got the Jazz where they were, but it's starting to show some kinks in the armor there over the last couple of games. What would you say the change needs to happen for the Utah Jazz to turn this around?
I think you probably bring Ochai into the starting rotation.
Over Chris Dunn? Or Sexton?
I mean, no, I guess that's true. I mean, realistically, you just can't move either one of those guys out. Sexton's been amazing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Since Sexton started, Chris Dunn is the calming force. You know what I mean? He comes out and he distributes the ball. I think you've got to have a conversation with Fontecchio.
Yeah.
Like, you've got to, because his defense was really good for that win streak. He played really well. He was really tough. And you saw him slouch off trying to help and just giving a little bit too much space. And you've got to remember, though, the Pelicans shot way over their season average on three in this game.
Yeah, but also, so that happened with the Lakers, too. The Lakers are the second worst team in the NBA from 3-point.
Yeah.
And they went off on the Jazz in the first half.
And it's all spacing.
Yeah.
But the Jazz are falling into these weird zone mixes, you know what I mean, where you're not playing players, you're playing areas where the ball is. And when you're doing that, it just puts these guys in really bad situations. You're daring teams to shoot in the NBA. And unfortunately, an NBA player sees one ball go down and they see two balls go down.
Yeah.
And it's on. You know what I mean? They're just going to keep letting it fly. Yeah.
Shy of Rudy Gobert, you can leave anybody open anywhere and they're going to make a shot.
Well, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, here's my two fixes. I think the first immediate fix you do is you move Fontecchio to the bench and you bring in Kelly Olynyk. Swap those two.
Olynyk? You can't have Olynyk and
I'm done on the floor at the same time.
Yeah.
But Olynyk is a better defender than Fontecchio.
He is, but he's not fast enough to defend in the same spots Fontecchio can.
But he's obviously not defending well. So you got to make that change, right? That would be one of the swaps I would do. My second option here, and this would just be temporarily until Fontecchio figures defense out. But my second time is, I think it's time we move Collins to the bench and bring in Kessler to be our starting center.
I like the idea, but I don't think it happens. I think they're okay with the John Collins experiment. Have you noticed his minutes have significantly declined?
Yeah,
they're pulling him way faster and getting Kessler out there.
Yeah, I have seen that, but I also think that if you're going to bring in Collins, he's going to be an offensive threat pretty much only. That's what he's going to do. He's going to rebound the offensive rebounds, get some good boards, and he's going to score for you. He's basically if you put Carlos Boozer in the dryer for too long, he'll shrink down. You know, that's basically what John Collins is for me. And I don't know. I just think if you're wanting to emphasize defense, which is what's going to take for this team to win, you're not going to outscore everybody in the league. So if you want to beat these teams, some of these elite teams that they have beaten, you got to be a defense first team. And while this lineup does have a lot of good defense, Dunn is fantastic, our best defending guard, I believe.
Absolutely.
You know, Abaji is definitely number 2 there. But his offensive prowess, his corner threes have not been going down lately for him this year. So it's kind of been a no-go there. Fontecchio, I think, is probably one of the only pieces that you can really move out of the starting lineup and bring in somebody like a Kelly Olynyk to give him more minutes. You know, you don't want to really have Dunn and Olynyk on the court at the same time. But, you know, I think Keontae George's job as a facilitator has gotten much better over the last 20 games to where I think he can handle it on the bench. In the second unit. And I really think just bringing in Markkanen and benching Collins, at least to show a defensive presence, to show that people just can't have whatever they want around the basket and get, because again, it's not getting the rebound. They defend well for 18 seconds and then the ball bounces off the rim and nobody gets the rebound.
Well, and then it's a wide open 3 in the corner.
Yeah, you'll see one Jazz player in the paint trying to get the rebound, and the other 4 are breaking it to the other side.
Yeah.
Nobody's trying to secure the ball, and that's something that needs to just change, I think.
Yep. No, I agree.
Yeah. Let us know in the comments down below, folks. Let us know what you think what the Utah Jazz are. Is this something that's going to be, something we need to get used to going down for the rest of the season? Are they going to be this type of team where they win 6 in a row and then drop 3 in a row? Or you think this is something they could quickly fix and continue on? Is this time to hit the alarm, or are we just, do we need to be a little bit more patient with this team?
Yep, absolutely. And if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you like this, make sure you share it, and make sure you subscribe.
Absolutely. Now, we did talk a lot about the Utah Jazz and a little bit about the NBA in this video. We probably cut the NBA part out of this video just to make sure, if you want to catch everything we talked about on this video, it's available on our podcast underneath our playlist label podcast. It's also available audio only wherever you get your podcasts. It's also available on our website at dnasportsrecap.com.
Absolutely.
All right. So
set change. Hold on.
Dude, why? Killing me with this cinematics.
Set change.
All right, so let's go ahead and switch on over to Major League Baseball, shall we?
Absolutely. Okay, so we finally got a free agent signing, right?
Yes, we did.
Josh Hader. Tone it down, AJ. Okay, Josh Hader signs a 5-year, $95 million contract. This deal contains 0 deferrals.
So, it wasn't the Dodgers that signed him.
0 deferrals. It is the largest present-day value contract for a relief pitcher in Major League Baseball. He does join the original, the long-term staff of obviously Justin Verlander, Framber Valdez, Hunter Brown, and JP France. Is this now the best pitching team in baseball?
No, it's not. No, it's not. Still, because you're confusing Josh Hader as a starter. He's not a starter.
Right.
He's a reliever.
But the other relievers are Ryan, Brian Abreu, and Hader, right? So now they've got Hader onto there.
Yeah. They are easily the 3-headed monster of a bullpen in Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
The starters, they still have Verlander and all them, and they still have a decent starting core, but are they best pitching staff? No, they're not. But is it the best bullpen in baseball? Absolutely. If you're wanting to beat the Houston Astros, you better have a lead going into the 6th inning.
Right.
Because you're not getting past it. The thing about this one what hurts me about this one is that, I have some family friends that are family that are Astros fans. And don't worry, I won't disown you guys. But they were talking to me about how the Astros haven't been doing anything this offseason, how they haven't been doing any signings. I'm like, I told them they didn't need to. The Astros are good anyway. They still made it to the playoffs. They still won a playoff series, so they're doing fine. But this was not just make a splash, make a big signing. This was the perfect signing for the Houston Astros, because this was what hurt them last year, was the bullpen. They already had some of the 2 of the best with Abreu and Presley in the bullpen. You add Hader to that, and dude, just good night. This was the perfect move for the Astros to sign. So everybody in the American League, man, you got your work cut out for you. Texas, you better sign Montgomery. You better get that deal done. You better bring in, whatever reliever you can, because you were supposed to get Hader and you botched it. So good job to the Astros. That's the perfect signing for them. Yeah.
So is Hader worth that 5 years, $95 million?
Yeah.
As a reliever. To sign the largest present day value contract for a relief pitcher, is he worth it?
Yeah, it's large. It's technically not the largest reliever contract, because the Diaz guy for the Mets, he has $105 million 5-year contract, but he's got deferrals in his.
Oh.
So
largest present day with no deferrals contract.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
Present day is the right words, because that's money that's being paid now.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, obviously that guy busted his knee in the World Baseball Classic. It was out all year last year, Diaz.
That's not good.
So, it's kind of like, all right, well, what are you going to do there? So 5 years, $95 million. Dude, if to get Josh Hader, that's what it was going to take. And no, that deal's not going to age well. But if they get 2 good years out of that, and it helps gets them another ring, easy all day.
Absolutely.
All day. Yeah, Ryan Presley is their current closer. Brian Abreu, just already nasty. That's the 3-headed monster, man. You got American League, man. You guys are in trouble.
Crazy. Okay, so we got some other news coming out of baseball.
Okay.
obviously the Diamond Sports bankruptcy
Mhm.
merges with Amazon or potentially merges with Amazon, giving them streaming rights to NBA teams, NHL teams, MLB teams. I don't know. I think this is kind of a cool idea. This is crazy that it's a team out of bankruptcy, but I love Amazon just kind of throwing their hat in there to get some streaming rights to go onto Amazon Prime.
Oh yeah.
Everybody's got Amazon, and so I mean, I guess my question is, does this actually fix some of these, blackout markets? Does this how does the MLB, how does the NHL, how does some of these major league programs fare after something like this happens?
Well, let's first address the Bally Sports bankruptcy and how it's been affecting baseball so far.
Okay.
Because it does go into the free agency thing a little bit.
Yeah.
We did mention on a previous video how Texas hasn't signed Jordan Montgomery and a few other players, and a lot of other teams haven't been signing because their TV deal is the question.
Okay.
This was it. They haven't been paid from Bally Sports underneath Diamond Sports, whatever.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So
gotcha.
they haven't been being paid their regional sport. We talked about it last week how each team gets a minimum of 40 million. These 11 teams haven't been getting paid that money. So they don't know going forward if they can afford to pay for Jordan Montgomery as a small market team.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's huge.
They just won the World Series, right?
Yeah.
And Cleveland Guardians actually came out and said, hey, we're not signing anybody because we don't know what our TV deal is going to look like next year.
Yep.
So that's a big piece of it. And then you also got the fact that Scott Boras has the top free agents that are still available. And surprise, surprise, they're still not signed. So the combination of that plus the fact that this Bally Sports is causing the financial strain for some of these teams, that's really those two things combined is really what's pushing this.
Okay.
For the free agency holdup. But back to what you're talking about when it comes to stream rights, that's actually my biggest concern right now is because let's say, okay, you got Amazon Prime, I got Amazon Prime, right? Ask anybody who's watching Thursday Night Football how much they enjoy the fact that the Thursday Night Football is on Amazon Prime only.
I love it.
You like it.
I do.
But not everybody's in your demographic.
Yeah. Super convenient.
It's convenient for you, but these people who aren't used to that, who are not cable cutters, who go to turn on ABC and CBS and NBC or Fox,
and Thursday Night Football's nowhere to be found.
And Thursday Night Football's nowhere to be found.
Yeah,
they realize they're paying for Amazon Prime for shipping, but have no idea how to turn on the game. It caused a huge problem the first year they did this last year.
Yeah,
and it was even on the Dan Patrick show, and he said I had to call my daughter to ask her how to do it. This Dan freaking Patrick, man.
Yeah,
he didn't understand it. My old man, he was like, I can't watch Thursday Night Football anymore. I guess like, Dad, you pay for Amazon Prime, just download Prime. And he's like, oh, so it hurt the game a little bit,
right?
Apple started streaming some of the games, which was really fun to watch, by the way. When Apple's broadcasting baseball, they did a really good job. Who did an excellent job was Facebook.
Really?
Yeah, Facebook did a really good job when they were doing that when they streamed games. There's no commercial breaks.
No way. Just stays on the field the whole time.
Yeah, so it's just you watch the field change out, you watch the pitcher take his warm up, and the broadcasters have to fill that whole space. I
actually love that.
It
dude.
was really cool.
It probably makes you feel a little more like you're actually at a game.
Yes, it was fantastic.
Yeah, because I mean that's all stuff like because when you're at a game, like the best part is when the field's changing and you can talk about what just happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and like obviously commercials are amazing and they pull you in, so you're almost watching commercials, but to be able to have that on and listen to like that extra couple minutes of broadcasting and I mean I'm obviously a huge sports fan, right? Yeah. So I enjoy listening to the broadcasters' opinions and what they sing and some of those in-depth stats that they have. And so I love that stuff.
You could throw it down to a sideline supporter and they get a solid 3 minutes to talk to somebody.
Yeah, absolutely.
Versus 30 seconds.
Yeah,
it's great. You nailed it. It's a way for you to feel like you're more at the game than you are sitting on your couch and watching TV. It was perfect. I wish Apple TV and all these other streaming companies would figure that out because it was perfect. But back to that point, this is my concern about blackouts. Am I going to be blacked out of my Major League Baseball package now because MLB team has a deal with Amazon?
Yeah.
How's that going to work?
Yep.
Is it be treated like, because is it only going to be on Amazon Prime for the local region?
I wonder if Amazon Prime has the ability to even do that.
True.
You would think so, right?
Speaking of which, I have a bone to pick about the Utah Jazz's streaming app, by the way.
What's that?
I was at the gym running on the treadmill, and I'm like, oh, I could just pull this up on my Jazz app. I got the Jazz app. I can stream the games. Nope. I had to be on my home Wi-Fi for it to play the game on the app.
Really?
Yeah. I was very upset about that.
I think I've played it like 100 different places. I've signed into my house. I've signed into Steph's house. I've signed in all over the place.
Did you watch it over data just on your phone, or were you connected to a home Wi-Fi?
I think it was over data.
Yeah, it would not let me. I was very upset about that. But it kind of goes back to the same thing when it comes to this. Is that going to happen? You know, I think it's okay if it's just the regional sport network, like just the people who would have rights to it could view it on Amazon Prime. That's cool. But if you're going to block out of network people from watching on Amazon Prime too, I mean, blocking and making them watch it on Amazon Prime too, that's where I have a problem.
Absolutely. And that, I mean, that's kind of my concern is, you know, I'm curious, does this fix the local area restrictions, you know, allowing fans from wherever to watch the games? Because it's a really cool concept. If you can open up like if you can use this as a tool to open up, like, hey, I can get Amazon Prime and I can watch the Charlotte Hornets on the NBA just because I have Amazon Prime.
Right.
You know what I mean? I could watch every Charlotte Hornets game because they're in this network, or I could, for instance, you know what I mean? Like that's a really cool idea. If you could watch every game that's going to be streamed on some of these networks, like that could really help, you know, some of these media deals for teams. And I mean, I think it helps fans everywhere.
Yeah, but it also kind of dunks on the MLB extra innings or the NHL center ice or the NFL Sunday ticket or the NBA League Pass, all these out of market stuff. It will kind of just get in the way of that. So the only way I say this weekend working is if it's just a regional thing, and then you still have to subscribe to these things for the out of market games, which would be great because then you wouldn't have to pay for the extra cable or the extra satellite channels. You can just have, if you already have Amazon Prime, you're good there.
Yeah.
Did you see what the MLB commissioner did? He blocked this deal.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's like, no, you guys don't get all 11 teams. He's like, we'll give you 5 teams. So the teams that the commissioner is allowing, Rob Manfred, he's allowing the Detroit Tigers, the Kansas City Royals, Florida Marlins, Tampa Bay Rays, and Milwaukee Brewers are allowed to do this Amazon deal. But the other 6 teams aren't.
Wow.
I think he's holding out for those to go to a different option, like maybe Apple or something like that, to kind of give them the option to do the streaming rights. But yeah, it's kind of all over the place. Now, all this is pending a judge. Like this hasn't been approved yet. This still has to be voted on by a judge to be okayed. Right. But yeah, it's great. It's quite crazy. 120 million or something like $115 million they dumped into Bally to kind of help, you know,
115 million.
Yeah, to dump into that to kind of, I like it, you know. But if a regional sport network fails, then it should just fail. You know?
Yeah, I mean, it's just funny to me that Amazon can bail anybody out these days.
Yeah. Well, I really liked what the Jazz did. I mean, the Jazz and the Nuggets both did the same thing. They went with a local TV network, over the air network, and they did their own streaming.
Yep.
I think.
Oh, did the Nuggets do the same thing?
Nuggets did the same
thing. That's really
yeah.
cool, actually.
We're talking a couple of NBA teams on our baseball content, but all right, let's move. Let's move back to baseball. We should definitely tech it. We'll definitely update you guys as more comes on that. Let us know in the comments down below what you think this regional sport network thing with Amazon's going to shake out to be.
Yep, for sure. Okay. Still on baseball. Hall of Fame, Drama Llama, shoot.
Okay, first, let's congratulate Adrian Beltre, Todd Helton, and Joe Mauer.
Yeah.
For making it onto the Hall of Fame.
Helton is first? This is going to be his first Hall of Fame ballot, right?
I think it's his first, yeah. Which is really cool to see.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, lifelong Rocky, I believe.
Yeah.
So, which was really cool. Adrian Beltre, I mean, the guy's just, you can't talk about this era. That's my thing when it comes to Major League Baseball, is that you need, if you can talk about your era without mentioning you, then you don't belong in the Hall.
Yep.
If you talk about this time in baseball and they have to mention you, then you belong in the Hall.
Yep.
That's kind of how I feel about it. Steroid era excluded, by the way. But yeah, so congratulations to those guys. Awesome job, great career. So the problem we're running in when it comes to this Hall of Fame ballot is there's sports writers they get a ballot, right?
Yep.
And it's got like 30 names on it, right? Just taking a guess, probably around that. You know, correct me in the comments if I'm wrong down there if it's less than that. But there's about 30 names on there. Each person gets to use up to 10 votes on these ballots.
On 30 names.
On 30 names.
Yeah.
Some of these ballots are being turned in with only one name checked.
Why would that happen? If you're a Hall of Fame voter, you need to vote for 10 people.
You don't have to vote for 10 people. You get 10 votes.
Yeah, but vote for 10 people.
Yeah. Well, I can understand about not using 10, but only using one. Because what if there's just not 10 people you think was worth the Hall? Like, think about it this one. We have Gary Sheffield, A-Rod, Manny Ramirez, and some other people that are obviously going to be on the Mitchell report, right?
Yeah.
That use steroids and that cheated in baseball and stuff like that. So that's going to be its whole own thing, you know. But there's definitely other people like Billy Wagner, Chase Utley, you know, Jimmy Rollins, Andy Pettit. You know, these are some other players that I think David Wright would actually should get better than 24 votes. Adrian Beltre got 366 votes, the most this season. And David Wright got 24, you know, player for the Mets. So I don't think there should be a limit to how many that you should use. You can't just vote for just one if you think there's only one player that's valuable enough to go into the hall. Yeah, if there's only one on there, but come on, there's plenty of here. You got the three. You got Beltre, Todd Helton. One person voted just for Todd Helton. That was it.
Todd Helton's the only one that deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. And then one actually took away a vote from one of them. I can't remember which one it was. It might have been Todd Helton. So this might not have been his first year. It might have been his second.
I thought it was his first.
I could be wrong. It could be Joe Mauer. Joe Mauer deserves to be in the hall just for those Head and Shoulders commercials he did with
absolutely.
You know,
yeah, absolutely.
Those are great. But yeah, so yeah, it's a little bit of a racket. I think these baseball writers are a little bit on their own head. You get 10 votes and you only vote for one or two. I do agree that these three should be in Beltre, Helton, and Mauer. I do also agree that Billy Wagner should be in there, and he's next with 73% of the vote. You need 75, so he's only 1.2% away from getting that. So he's really close. He should be getting it soon. Yeah, some of these other guys, man, they're just why is Chase Utley only at 29% of the vote? You know,
I was most upset about Andrew Jones.
Right, Andrew Jones.
Grew up a Braves fan.
He's not even on my list of the people who got votes.
Oh, he got votes.
How many?
I don't know. Not enough.
Because he's not even on my list.
He's not in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he's not even on my list for the top ones. But yeah, that's interesting. But yeah.
Jerk.
He's not even on the list, dude.
He was.
I'm sure he's on the ballot, but he's not on the list. Like, he got less than 6% of the vote.
My keyboard here.
See that? Look at that. You got less than 6% of the vote then if he's not on this list. No, Andrew Jones. There he is. Sorry, he had 6. Oh, sorry, guys. Yeah, Andrew Jones had 200. He didn't spell it right. He spells with a UW.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you, dude? He got 237 votes, 61%.
Braves legend.
Yeah, 62% of the vote. So he's only 13% of the way. He might get there. All right, let's go ahead and pivot on over to Shohei Ohtani. You know, it's not a complete baseball video unless we're talking about Ohtani at least once.
Absolutely.
Right? So now, actually, we're going to talk about a little bit about a couple Dodgers players on this one. Now, what number does Shohei Ohtani wear? Do you know?
17.
That's right. Now, we have a player on the Dodgers that was already wearing the number 17. Do you know who that was?
Mr. Joe Kelly.
Mr. Mariachi Joe.
Yep.
Mariachi Joe Kelly himself, nice swing bitch himself, was wearing number 17. So I don't know.
I love this story, dude.
This is a great story.
I love it. His wife starts the whole Instagram,
take 17.
Yeah, take 17. Exactly.
Yep. So she starts campaigning for Shohei Ohtani to come to the Dodgers to get and she's giving her husband's number away.
Yeah.
Because he knows he wore that with Anaheim. So yeah, so that's in her efforts to persuade Shohei Ohtani to come to the Dodgers. Now, typically when a player signs with another team and they have a higher status in Major League Baseball, and they want to keep their number, there's usually like a gentleman's agreement, like, oh, I'll buy you a Rolex, or here's a nice bottle of whiskey, here's a really expensive cigar, something like that, right? But that's not how this one went down. Joe Kelly starts filming his wife as she opens the door and says, hey, check it out there. She's like, what is that? She's like, that's from Shohei. And it's a freaking Porsche Panorama. Sorry, what did I say? Yeah, Panorama, not Palmera.
Yeah.
A Porsche Panorama coming off of a trailer. Shohei Ohtani.
I love this, dude.
Shohei Ohtani repaid her for her campaign to bring her to the Dodgers by buying Joe Kelly's wife $100,000 to $200,000 spec car. That is awesome.
Dude, it's so awesome. Like, it just tells you like the guy that Shohei is.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, just he appreciates the gesture. Obviously, Joe Kelly's giving up his number. I mean, this is good quality baseball content right here.
Absolutely. I absolutely love it. I think it's a great show for Joe Kelly. great show for sorry to not Joe Kelly. Great show to Ashley Kelly for her efforts to bring Shohei Ohtani to the Dodgers, and just shows what baseball players, team wife, what she really puts effort into. There's a whole bunch of the other Dodgers players' wives that commented down and below it, saying how much she campaigned to bring Shohei Ohtani to the team. It was really impressive. I really thought it was awesome. But yeah, congratulations to Ashley Kelly for her Porsche. Good on you for Shohei for doing that. And Joe Kelly, good for it. Did you hear why Joe Kelly was so willing to give up his number? He's like, he's going to the Hall of Fame. That's probably the easiest way for me to get my number retired.
I love that, actually. He's like, hell yeah, I wore Dodger 17. It's in the Hall.
It's in the Hall. That's my number up there too, guys. It's my number. But yeah, I think that's fantastic. But yeah, so we got pitchers and catchers reporting in less than a month. We have early play, and we have the first series between the Dodgers and the Padres playing in South Korea within a month.
Did you know we need to figure out a way to get to Arizona and go watch some preseason ball?
That would be really cool. Do you see that baseball right there?
Mm-hmm.
The red baseball? That's from spring training from Arizona.
Dude, wouldn't that be fun?
I didn't go. My buddy Sean got that for me, so he went and watched a bunch of Dodger games. And he's a Yankees fan.
Needs to be a business trip. A DNA Sports recap business.
Absolutely.
Trip.
We'll do a meet and greet down there. Anybody who's down there, we'll do a little meet and greet. We'll meet up at a local pub. You guys come down there.
Me and you at the pub.
It'll be me and you at the pub. You come by, prove you're a subscriber, and we'll buy you a beer.
Yep.
I like it.
Absolutely.
Well, once again, folks, we are on the grind to 1,000 subscribers. Once we get there, we are going to be giving away the first $500 that we earn in AdSense revenue back to our subscribers. 5 subscribers are each going to earn $100 each. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Make sure you hit that bell so you don't miss out on that giveaway. We are about 720 strong right now and growing.
Yeah, 725, something like that.
Something like that. You guys have been great. You guys have definitely been making a push on that for us, so we appreciate it. Keep hitting that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and make sure you hit that like button for your boy AJ over there.
Absolutely. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you like it. Make sure you subscribe. Keep commenting. We love all the engagement with you guys. It's been absolutely great. The channel gets more and more fun to do every single week.
Yeah, absolutely. Let us know in the comments down below. Which is the next free agent to fall? Where do you got Blake Snell going? Where do you got Bellinger going? Do you like this deal for the Astros when they sign Hader? Let us know what you guys think down below. Keep in mind, folks, this is available as a podcast. Not everything we talked about in this video is actually, it's not everything that we talked about in this episode of the podcast is going to make it onto this video. So make sure that you watch the video podcast, which is on our YouTube channel. If you want to see us in the full video, it is underneath our playlist podcast. It's also available audio only wherever you get your podcasts. It's also available through our website at dnasportsrecap.com.
Yep. Sure is. What do I say here? I forgot.
I think you already said your closing piece.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, so we're good there.
I did.
All right. Once again, folks, my name's Darren. That is AJ, and this has been the DNA Sports Recap.
Till next time. You were just staring at me. It was freaking me out.
Say something, AJ. Say something.
I was like, I don't know. I already said my part.